Spelling, because I knew all the with R.
You knew all the words, but not the words?
Yeah.
Okay, that happens. Anyone have a quiz out still? Okay. Everyone, I got everyone's? Okay. Trinken was sehr gut. Essen. Good. Finden. Gefunden. Heißen. Geheißen. That's not a weird one to me. Lesen. Gelesen. Nehmen. Genommen. Schlafen. Sprechen. With an O. Gesprochen. And tragen. Getragen. Treffen. Getroffen. And waschen. Getroffen. And waschen. Gewaschen.
How do you spell
Gewasschen.
that?
Gewaschen. Sorry?
If you just missed two, like changing the A to an O,
I'll count off just a point.
a point,
Yeah.
that's a lot. Oh, he does? What if you put gay on them? And you like spelled it right, but like you didn't like, I mean, you didn't spell right, but like you have the word right.
Are you asking this for a friend?
Yeah.
Ask me the question again. I'm sorry, I lost myself in my own question.
If you put like gay, and then you like have it right, and you have it the wrong spelling.
If you're pretty close, then I'm gonna give you credit for it. I mean, like I'm gonna give some credit for it. Okay? If you're pretty close, I'm gonna give you another vocab list to look at. Yes. Okay. Where is, oh, there we are. All right. Look at the board, please. And this should be a fairly easy review type of quiz today, next week. And we got it. Listen, please. We have to know how to conjugate the verb haben in order to make the past tense. Will you turn the computer just for you? Because it must be really interesting to Catherine. Okay. So every one of these past tense or these past participles, there has to be a form of the verb haben in this chapter here. So let's go through these. Hopefully this should be really easy. Look at these. Ich habe, you have. The informal, you have. Du hast. He has. Er hat. She has. Sie hat. It has. Es hat. We have. You plural, like two or three of you, have some. Ihr habt. And that's informal, by the way. There's a formal, but right. They have. Small sz. Very good. Sie haben. Hannah has. So I'll tell you, I'll give you a hint. If you're trying to say the word has, H-A-S in English, it's hat in German, H-A-T. Everybody hear me? It's a pretty common verb all around, but also as a helping verb. Has. So with even in English, Hannah has a book. Hannah has homework, whatever she's doing there. So it's pretty high tech what the movable parts are. Hannah hat. Now two people, Lukas und Hans, full verb because it's plural. Lukas und Hans haben. Formal you have with a capital S. formal gets a capital S. Sie haben. Last one, the verb to have. Haben. That's it. That's the infinitive verb to have. Now, if we can, I hope it sounds like you did pretty good on this last quiz. If you know those verbs, and if you know the verbs from haben, then you're in good shape. Let's, hold on. I just pulled up in a second. Let me see what I do with it. Hold on. What do I do with it? I got too many tabs open, like usual. That was one we just did, I think. Oh, no, it's not. So look at these words here. These are not on the vocab quiz. Maybe they might be another time. But I mixed up some regular and irregular verbs. Let me turn this around the other way. So we say kochen. Well, that's not in your list, is it? The quiz you took today. So what happens to kochen? Gekocht. So ich habe, what would you cook? Ich habe Abendessen, dinner, gekocht. Kaufen. Gekauft. Machen. Good. Tanzen. Good. Hören, to hear. Gehört. Now, these are going to get, some of these are going to get changed, not be so easy. Wohnen, to live. Gewohnt. Schmecken, how something tastes, to taste. Take a guess. Geschmeckt. When you like are done at a restaurant, you're done with your food, or like you're someone's house and you're done, the person who cooked it or the waiter might ask you, hat das geschmeckt? Hat das gut geschmeckt? Yeah. Yeah. How did it taste? Or did it taste good? Geschmeckt. Regnen is kind of weird because regnen ends in this N, but so how do we make that work? Yeah, we actually have to add another letter in there. Like with arbeiten became gearbeitet, geregnet. So es hat geregnet, it's rained. Donnern, what's donnern? Donner and blitzen. Hey, can you please close that up, please, whatever you're showing? Thunder, right, thunder. So what's to thunder? So what's the verb in past participle? Gedonnert. Es hat gedonnert. I heard it. It thundered. This is really, we don't have this verb in English, but this is the verb to lightning. That's, I don't know. You say, oh, there's lightning. But what would be the verb of the past participle of blitzen? Geblitzt. Schneien. Geschneit. Haben. Gehabt. Now, I'm going to skip over that one. That one we already know. What is it? Right? This one we don't know yet. This is irregular. Look at this. Sehen, pretty easy, becomes gesehen. We know that one? We know that one? Uh-huh. That one? Good. This one we don't know. Gefahren. Kommen, gekommen. Laufen, gelaufen. Now that one? Gegessen. This is geschwommen. It changes to an O. Like swim, swam, swum. Schwimmen, geschwommen. This one we know. Right here? Up here, please, girls. I don't have any eyes up here. Gefunden. This one, do you know? This one? This one? I like this one. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. Gesprochen. Nehmen. Taking a cookie. Genommen. Shame on you. Schreiben. Geschrieben. I think that's a difficult one. This one. There's an EI. What's going to happen? We schreiben, geschrieben, bleiben, geblieben. It means to stay. So der Hund ist geblieben. Yeah, it stayed there. And gehen, that's a whole different one. Gehen becomes, we'll get to that in a little bit. Actually, next chapter, I think. Gegangen. Gegangen. Like gone. I have gone. I go, I have gone. In German, gehen, gegangen. Okay. Anyway, those are not the vocab. I'm showing you some other verbs that are, some of the beginnings here are regular, like kochen, gekocht, kaufen, gekauft, machen, gemacht. tanzen, getanzt, hören, gehört, wohnen, gewohnt. We had spielen and machen, machen, spielen, gespielt, machen, gemacht, schmecken, geschmeckt, regnen, geregnet, donnern, gedonnert, blitzen, geblitzt, schneien, geschneit, haben, gehabt, and then that's where they stopped being regular then. Okay. Let me pull up this and go over what I went over with the other class. Okay, let me pull this onto the screen here. Welcome to my studio, huh? Yeah. Where do I want that? Is that what I want? No. I want to share. Where's is that it? There we go. All right. Skip ahead a couple pages. Okay. So the other day, we started talking about this here. The accusative case, I think this was on Wednesday, right? The accusative case pronouns. Remember this? So we have word Wednesday, I think, on the Zoom day. Ich becomes mich. Look right here. Du becomes dich. Becomes ihn. I'm going to write it here on the board. Because this is pretty important. And I think we've gone over this maybe once, but okay. Oops, that's maybe see if that works very well. All right. So what we're talking about is when a pronoun gets put in the accusative case as a direct object, or maybe preceded by one of these 5 words, these prepositions: durch, für, gegen, ohne, remember these? Maybe from Wednesday, you remember them. Through, what's für mean? For, gegen, against, these are prepositions. Ohne, without, around. All right, so one of these 5 words can put a pronoun into the accusative case. So we have ich, du, sie, sie, es, wir, ihr, and the word for they, sie. Not all of them change. This is nominative, accusative. This becomes, ich becomes mich. Like I would not say, oh, that package is for I would say it's for who? For me. So in German, that would be für mich. So mich is really the word for me in the accusative case. Du becomes dich. It changes in German. But in English, it doesn't change. You would say that the letter is for you. You have a letter, subject and do. You is the same, but in German, informal, it changes to dich. Every time you have sie, whether it's formal, you, she, or they, it's going to stay sie in the accusative case. So I'm going to go ahead and make that right now. That always stays sie in the accusative. S is going to stay S, but er is the only one that changes. Er changes to, remember yesterday or Wednesday? In. Wednesday? Zoom? Somebody there? Nobody. All right. No, weren't there? Now notice this. And this is not a coincidence. This is all built into the language. It's a legitimate, not legitimate. It's a rational kind of order to all this. Er, we would say that er is the masculine pronoun, right? What does it mean? He. And sie is a feminine pronoun. It means what? What? And s is kind of a neutral pronoun. What does that mean? It. So we'll say masculine, feminine, neuter. But then we look at those other things that are masculine, feminine, neuter, like der, and die, and das. And we notice that there's an er at the end, that there's an ie, and that there's an s at the end of this word here. You see this, guys? There's a real Zen flow going on here. Hope you're picking up on it. It's metaphysical, what's happening right now. I hate for you to miss it. And then look what happens. Z stays Z and S stays S. If you look at the chart up there, on the accusative level, D stays D and das stays das. Do you see it? There's the nominative row and the accusative row. You can't see it? Okay. Well, trust me. D stays D in the accusative, and das stays das. Well, guess what? There's that S again. There's that IE again. What's the only one that changes, though? Der changes to den, and look what happens with the pronouns. That's the only pronoun that changes in the accusative case, too. Changes to ihn. Just like der changes to den. Z stays Z, S stays S. Just like D stays D, das stays das in the accusative case. Okay. Now, wir, I'll make this real easy. If you want to say the word us, there's just one word for us. What is it? What is it?
S.
Uns. Look how close uns is to English. Uns. What about, this is the weirdest one. The accusative form of you plural. Euch. EUCH. Okay, so ich to mich, du to dich, sie stays sie, der or to ihn, sie stays sie, s stays s, wir, uns, that looks a lot like English, it's pretty easy. Again, sie always stays sie in the accusative, the weirdest one, ihr to euch. So again, if I use this one, I wouldn't say for, if I said for you, one person, that would be für dich. But if I said for all of you, for say 8 of you, I would say für euch. So you would know I'm talking about not just one person, but at least 2 people or more, maybe all of you. Für euch. What about for us? What would that be? For us? Für what? Für uns. What about for him? Right here. Because all those prepositions, I'm just using für as an example, put the next noun or pronoun in the accusative case automatically. Für ihn, für sie, for it, für es, für uns, we already said. Für euch, we already said. And we would say they changes to what in English? The package is for not they, but for them. But in German, sie stays sie. So it means they, and this would translate as them. That's fine. Für sie. Meaning for them. Good. So if it's a DO, or if it's a preceded by a durch, für, gegen, ohne, then it's going to be accusative case. Now, let's add one more thing. I'm not going to stay here very long. It's going to be like a quick, like injection, you know, like it's got to give you a quick little shot here and be on your way, feeling better than you tomorrow. Little pinprick, and we're going to add one more. Now we have ich, mich, like my list right there. Du, dich, sie, ihn, sie, wir, uns, ihr, euch. Okay. Now we've got the dative case. And look, there's some changes. Can you see that? Oh, I know you can see that. Ich, mich, mir. A third, this one also means me. In English, we only really have a nominative and an adjective case. We don't have a dative case, like at least that where pronouns change. It's just I and me, and they and them, and we and us. But in German, ich, mich, mir, it kind of rhymes. Du, dich, dir. Look here, sie stays sie in the accusative and nominative. What happens here? It's a word you saw in German 1, chapter 1. Wie geht es Ihnen? Yes, and that's the dative case form of the word you. Look what happens. Oh, this gets so like, Catherine, I get so excited about this sometimes. Sometimes now this year, I think I'm so excited about it, but I almost want to hold on to it till Wednesday when everyone's together. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if I could like build the excitement twice, you know, like on a Thursday and Friday or Monday and Tuesday. And we have Monday off, you know. But notice what zs becomes ihm zs, and look here. Ihm with an M, and ear, and then ihm again for the it form in the dative case. Look, but uns stays uns, euch stays euch, and the other words for the z, meaning you or they, change to ihnen like they did up here. Wow. What's the dative case deal with? Anybody? Accusative is about direct objects. What's dative case? Take a guess. We got direct objects, and then we got indirect objects, right? And in addition to that, it could be an indirect object. It could be a different type of preposition, not those on the board, but there's dative case prepositions. And one other thing we'll talk about, I see it mentioning right here, but we'll get to it in a little bit, or not today, but some other time. But those are all the pronouns for when you're talking about an indirect object or a couple of other situations. Okay, so that should be, that's a book full right there. That's a lot in a chapter, I feel. I mean, I don't have any pity for you. I'm just saying, you know, good luck is what I'm saying, I guess. Good luck, man. Glad I'm not in your position. All right. I'll come back to that later. I'm going to stop there, okay? I don't know how much time we have, but I need to, I messed something up in my first hour. I need to correct it before things go bad. Okay, Ava, I'm going to just send this video out to all of you, but Ava's the one missing today. Where is she today?
She's in Texas for Labor Day.
For Labor, oh, that's right, Labor Day. Okay, have fun in Texas. And check the my cache for the vocab list for next Friday.